May I come in, sir?
Please, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Can you, Aman?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Aman. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Aman, can you briefly introduce yourself to the board, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Aman Saurabh. I belong to Patna, Bihar. All my schooling was done from Patna, Bihar. After that, I graduated from IIT Roorkee in computer science and engineering. And I also worked for a brief period in the IT sector. Thereafter, I'm completely dedicated towards civil service exam preparation. And fortunately, sir, in 2022, I got allocated to Indian Revenue Service, Customs and Indirect Tax.
Okay, 2022.
Yes.
So, आपका training still going on? Like,
sir, I have taken extraordinary leave from training.
Okay, you have not joined the training yet.
No, sir, I have not joined the training.
Okay, okay. Aman, tell me. I see you are from Patna, right?
Yes.
Patna or Sikhism? What is the connect?
Sir, Patna is the birthplace of the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, and there is a Gurudwara dedicated to him, sir.
Do you have any idea? There is something known as a term used, Takhat Sri Patna Sahib.
Yes, sir. It is actually the term used to dedicate to the same Gurudwara that I am talking about.
Takhat.
Yes, sir.
Takhat से आप क्या समझते हैं? What is the meaning of the word Takhat?
Sorry, sir, I'm not.
You have no idea. Okay. See, I was going through the newspaper a couple of days before. There's a very beautiful article which is talking about, fiscal federalism. In that article, the author is trying to talk about the injustice being done to certain South Indian states when it comes to sharing the revenues as part of the 15th Finance Commission, especially, right? And it said that the article, for every 1 rupee tax that Bihar gives to the country, it gets back around 7 rupees some paise, right? So the author is trying to make an argument that it is gravely unjustified. So what's your take on that?
Sir, I think there are apprehensions related to distribution of net taxes from the central government to the Finance Commission formula. However, I think distribution of taxes in such a manner, which is actually based on empirical evidence put forward by the Finance Commission, is necessary not only to gain the trust of the states, but I think it is also important for distributive justice, that in case of Bihar, we have the vast amount of poor population. For example, currently around 35% of the population is poor. Hence, in that sense, more revenue is important. However, I also feel that yes, definitely southern states, they also need to be placated with respect to their demands. So, in the Finance Commission formula, there is also some provisions that includes their performance in demographic changes. That
indicators.
Yes, sir, indicators.
Demographic indicators, yes. Right? I was surprised to know this was not a problem in the 14th Finance Commission recommendations, but 15th Finance Commission, this became a big problem. Why so? Any idea? What is the technical reason behind it?
Sir, I'll have to read more. Sorry.
Okay. The base year got shifted from 71 to 2000.
Okay, thank you for pointing.
That was the reason. Okay, good, good. As a revenue service officer, I was going to your DAF. You have not opted for any other service other than the IFS,
yes, sir.
Foreign service. So it gives an impression that you are interested in foreign services, international relations. Is that so the case?
Yes, sir. That is one of the important reasons.
Very rare. It doesn't happen like that. Generally, student chooses IAS or IPS as the first choice and keeps the other services as other choices. So, may I know why you have kept the other, services as not opted?
Sir, this is just a matter of personal preference since the UPSC has given me choice. And apart from that, I am more inclined to serve my country in the prospect of Indian foreign services, sir. So, sir, the honor of representing my country on the global level, I consider it is very important and profound. Secondly, in terms of development of the country, going beyond the border has become very important, especially in protection of our national interest or even the various economic political aspects. So in that aspect, sir, Indian Foreign Service provide me to serve the country, sir. That is why I am choosing.
Okay. If I make a statement, RAW also plays an important role in furthering our foreign policy objectives.
Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on this statement? Research and analysis,
Yes, sir.
I mean.
Yes, sir. Research and analysis wing is actually part of India's defense establishment. So they play an important role in intelligence gathering and also with collaborating with different nations. For example, in terms of terrorism or any case of militancy, and hence in the dimension of defense and security of our country, they play an important role.
Okay, you heard about Shimla Agreement?
Shimla Agreement. Yes, sir. It was signed after the Bangladesh Liberation War between India and Pakistan.
Pakistan, right? Can you tell me one basic tenet of the Shimla Agreement?
The most important one I would think is that all the issues between the two countries should be solved bilaterally and peacefully.
So now, what difference you see in the position of India vis-a-vis Pakistan before and after the Shimla Agreement?
Sir, I think India actually has been already always open with having better relation with every neighbor, that includes Pakistan. So we have pushed forward for better relation. For example, in 1998, our then Prime Minister, he actually went to Pakistan to improve the relations, and there was a bus service actually started then. So we have always been on the front footing if we want to improve the relation. However, our efforts actually may not fructify because the issue of terrorism and the territorial issue, which Pakistan actually has not been able to like coordinate with us properly. So I think we try to resolve those problems in an amicable manner, and we are hopeful that something would come up.
Okay, okay. While I was traveling in the morning today to come to this place,
Yes, sir.
I happened to see two different boards. On one board it was written Embassy, and on one board it was written High Commission. Can you tell me what is the difference between the two?
Yes, sir. So High Commission represent the. It is actually a kind of embassy which is related to the Commonwealth countries that is associated with India, and embassy for the non-Commonwealth countries.
Embassy is used term for the non-Commonwealth countries, and Commonwealth countries used High Commission. This is what you want to say? Okay. The two terms, multipolarity and multilateralism.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the difference, and India is a proponent of what?
Sir, India is a proponent of multipolarity as well as the second one, what was?
Multilateralism.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Multilateralism as well. So the basic difference is that in multipolarity, we see the world order where there are different power structures. For example, India being a rising power, USA already a superpower, and China is rising, and there are other aspects to it as well. So in terms of multilateralism, what India actually proposes is a reform structure where the global order presently can be represented properly, and there is representation of different countries. For example, we vouch for reforms in UNSC, and inclusion of African Union in G20 is also a step towards reform multilateralism.
Okay. It has been observed in the era of 1960s and 1950s. US was anti-China and pro-Taiwan, right? But after 1971, US took a U-turn, where it started, it gave recognition to the mainland China today as the real China and left the Taiwan in the middle. What could be the reason for this change stand of US?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about it.
Read about it. Okay. See, when I see India-Russia relationship, in economics there is a term generally used called invisible hands,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
But when it comes to India-Russia, I still feel there is some invisible hand that binds these two countries, which are historically different, demographically different, culturally different, geographically at a longer distance. What is that binds India and Russia?
Sir, exactly the invisible hand, I'm not able to actually find out, but I think there are several factors that are responsible for good relation between India and Russia. So historically, Russia has been an all-weather friend, always supported India in its important issues. Secondly, for our security and defense relation as well, Russia is the foremost partner for us. Thirdly, in terms of technology transfer as well, for example, nuclear power plant in Kundakulam, Russia has always helped us. So in that aspect, I think I see that these could be at least contributing to the good relation that we have always had.
See, you heard about the neighborhood first policy,
Yes, sir.
right? But when I see the larger map of India and the surrounding countries, at many places I find anti-India sentiment. Like Maldives had a movement, hashtag India Go Back movement. Sri Lanka also, we had our shade of dark side of our relationships. Nepal also time and again takes a U-turn on India. Pakistan and China, we know what's the ground reality. And a larger section in Bangladesh is also anti-India sentiment. Myanmar also, we have had troubled relations. So don't you see somewhere we have failed to gain a foothold in the neighborhood, and this neighborhood first policy does not seem to be working for India?
Sir, I think yes, definitely there are concerns, especially Maldives, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, if we consider them, the issues currently. But I think the relationship with the neighboring countries, they actually go through ebbs and flow, as any relationship that goes through it. So I think in case of performance of our neighborhood first policy, we have always been the first responder in case of any crisis. For example, in Sri Lanka, we have helped through line of credit, etc. Even in Bangladesh as well, we have always been helpful. And Maldives as well, the support to the military establishment there even prevented a coup. So I would not say that India's neighborhood first policy has failed. But I think, yes, definitely we need to work more. For example, we can have better people to people ties so that all these issues can be resolved amicably.
Aman, I have a feeling deep in my heart that probably we are not on the right path to find a solution to various problems with Pakistan. This problem of POK, the problem of, Pakistan internationalizing the Kashmir issue, the Pakistan, raising the voice that in India the Muslims are getting, subjugated or, being targeted religiously. We are somewhere failing to create a global narrative that Pakistan is basically a failed state. Do you think the idea of disengagement with Pakistan is the right step forward?
Sir, I think that concerns are definitely there, and it is not in our policy to actually denigrate any nation, including any of our neighbors. So, India, I don't think, sir, is doing some sort of isolation for Pakistan, but definitely our relationships could have been improved, and the issues that are being raised globally, they could have been solved bilaterally between both the countries. However, yes, concern is real, and one school of thought is there that relationships are going down. So the only solution remains to be agreeing to the previous agreements or the mechanisms that we already have between the two countries. For example, the Shimla agreement or even the track 2 channel of diplomacy, they can be used to improve our relationship.
See, when I see this organization SCO,
Yes.
Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it is primarily a military alliance, right? If going by the charter of the SCO, it says that we are also a military alliance.
Yes.
The RATS work in that direction, right? The RATS stands for the
Regional
anti-terror. Okay? Now, is it not a dichotomy that one of the countries which is responsible for terrorism in the region, that is Pakistan,
Yes, sir.
is partnered with India on a global or a regional platform fighting terrorism? Don't you see dichotomy here?
It is true, sir. Definitely there is a concern because of Pakistan the historical support to terrorism. However, I think SCO could be an organization where we can actually take the leverage of other partners as well to resolve the issues with Pakistan, sir. So a platform is there. Definitely, we have to have political will as well to solve our problems, including terrorism.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Any idea about Pakistan economy? What is the current status?
Sir, I have a general idea. They are going through economic crisis, very high inflation. They also suffered through flood disaster, which also was detrimental to the economy. Their foreign exchange are really in a very detrimental condition. So these are some of them.
What is the inflation rate? Any idea? Pakistan.
Sir, I am not aware of the exact. Sorry, sir.
Okay, let's compare India and Chinese economy.
Yes, sir. So, China is the second largest economy with around $18 trillion size. India is currently $3.7 trillion economy. Secondly, China, if we talk about advantages, China has started with focusing on infrastructure and the manufacturing sector. So, Indian economy is largely currently based on service sector. We might have missed a little bit in the manufacturing domain.
What is the current status of Chinese economy?
Sir, they are actually going through a slowdown, sir.
Why? What is the reason for that?
Sir, it was, I think, started from the COVID-19 pandemic, and because of, I'm not exactly aware about the reason, sir, but I think there is also an aspect of trust deficit from China, and a lot of companies from China are actually leaving it, for example, to the China Plus One policy.
What is the China Plus One policy?
Sir, China Plus One policy is where any company or investor in China, they are actually trying to diversify their supply chain or their establishment to any other country, so that if some sort of weaponization of supply chain happens, so they can be saved from that different destination.
What is the currency of China?
Sir, it is called yuan or renminbi, sir.
And what is the economy of that Europe nowadays? It's also facing problem. What is that problem?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read.
Come to US.
Yes,
Any idea about US economy currently? What is the status?
yes, so, US economy was going through a slowdown. The federal interest rate they were actually raising to curb the inflation. However, I think they are actually now at a point where they can, let's say, stop the raising of the interest rate, and some sort of resilience is seen that investment would come there and they can grow.
What are the interest rates, Fed interest rates nowadays?
Sorry, sir, I'll have
To what extent the inflation also went up very high in US?
Yes, sir.
To what extent it went?
So the numbers I'm not aware of.
But you are
Sorry,
not.
sir.
We use the word recession. Sometimes people say there might be a recession in China, US.
Yes.
What is the meaning of the word recession?
Sir, in technical terms, recession means that in 2 consecutive quarters, the GDP actually detracts, sir.
Have you heard about the dollar index? No.
No, sir, sorry.
No idea. Okay. Coming to that, what are the 3 challenges the Indian economy is facing?
Sir, Indian economy, the 3 challenges would be: first one, the unemployment; second would be, in case of inflation, food inflation, it frequently rises; third would be inequality in the economy and because of
Just
jobless growth.
Can you elaborate more on inequalities? How do we remove that?
Yes, sir. So, certain international reports have said that in case of India, around 10% of the population, they have a vast majority of wealth, and the bottom strata, they actually lag behind, and per capita income also needs to increase. So, sir, the reasons, there could be several reasons. For example, in our economic liberalization, it was said to be a sort of jobless growth that has affected it. Secondly, in terms of large population we have, so sense of competition is very high and employment has actually reduced. And sorry, sir, actually I need to work more on it, sir.
Can we tax more on rich people to reduce inequalities? Just tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir, that can be done in different ways. One would be, sir, wealth tax. It can be used so that income distribution can be done, sir.
We had wealth tax in the past, it was removed.
Yes, sir.
Any idea about what is the current status of Japan economy?
Japan, sir. No, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Sure, ठीक.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Aman.
Yes, sir.
Aman, Bodh Gaya. Tell me something about Bodh Gaya.
Sir, Bodh Gaya is considered as an important seat of Buddhism. It was a place where Gautam Buddha, he actually attained enlightenment. And we also have the Mahabodhi temple and the remnants of the original peepal tree under which he actually meditated to attain enlightenment.
Okay. So why Buddha delivered first sermon in Sarnath?
Yes, sir.
What is the reason behind?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about it.
Okay, and who made Nalanda University? Because your district is Nalanda.
Yes,
So who made this?
Sir, Nalanda University was made by Sri Gupta of the Gupta dynasty, Kumar Gupta of the Gupta dynasty, sir. Sorry.
Kumar Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, and can you let me know the history of Nalanda University in the ancient era and then medieval and then right now?
Yes, sir.
Till now.
So, sir, it was established by Kumar Gupta during the Gupta dynasty. It was an important seat of learning where important personalities, for example, Aryabhatta and other personalities as well, they were actually teaching as well as studying. In that university, that's one aspect. Secondly, if we go beyond further in the future, in the Pala period also, so it actually was losing prominence. And then in Pala period, the Dharampala, he actually revived the university. And there are a lot of exchanges with international emissaries that include Yuan Sang, Itzing, etc. that also visited Nalanda University. And after the Pala period, the invasion because of Bakhtiyar Khalji, Nalanda University was destroyed. And currently, the governments, central government and state government, they are actually trying to revive the university. There is also a Nav Nalanda Mahavihara that has been built, sir.
Okay, and one more thing, because Takshila University, you have heard about it?
Yes, sir.
So Takshila was older than Nalanda.
Yes, sir.
But Nalanda was famous in the world, but Takshila was not. What is the reason?
Sir, one reason that I can think of is that Takshila was actually not in the a university in the common sense, common words. For example, there in Takshila, the educators, the teachers that were there, they actually had some sort of small quarters where they educated the student by themselves, and no sort of degree was awarded for their education. So that is one of the reason I can think.
And second reason? Any other reasons you have?
Sir, at the moment, sorry, sir, I know.
Okay. And current affairs have you read?
Yes, sir.
No? Yes? Okay, daily?
Yes, sir.
Newspaper. Okay. So, can you let me know the philosophy, what is the philosophy of social justice? It is given in budget. Can you let me know?
Sir, social justice philosophy would mean that we are the development in the country is all inclusive. That includes all the sections of the society. There should be an element of equality and equity so that we can provide adequate resources to the weaker section in our society, so that all the people come at a similar level, so that our country can grow and prosper in a sustainable manner.
Okay. And the four major castes.
Sorry, sir, could you please?
Four major castes is
yes,
given in budget.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
So, sir, our Honorable Prime Minister has said that there are only four major castes in our country. That includes women, poor, youth, and farmers.
Farmers.
Yes.
Okay. So, and let me know 5 highlighted points of G20.
G20. Yes, sir. G20, first would be the leaders' declaration, where the consensus based decision was made. Second would be, sir, the India Middle East Economic Corridor that was proposed. Third would be, sir, the Global Biofuels Alliance, which would help us in renewable energy. Sir, fourth would be the inclusion of African Union in G20, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Aman, as a NSS volunteer,
Yes, sir.
so what is the logo of NSS?
Sir, logo as in the image or the motto?
Yeah, what is the, you can highlight song of NSS?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about the song.
Okay, then what is the, what we can say, theme?
Sir, the theme comes from the motto, that is not me but you. That is selfless service for the people.
What is the reason that we want such volunteers which are ready to give this type of services? What we want to achieve?
Sir, it comes from the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi, on whose birth centenary NSS was started. So, sir, he has always dedicated his life towards selfless service to the people, and that is how we can create an inclusive society with social harmony where all people can progress.
Okay, and when NSS Day celebrated?
Sir, NSS Day, sir, I know, but at the moment I am unable to recall. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So, being a product of IIT,
Yes, sir.
can you highlight certain committee or someone who has played a greater role in the creation of these institutions?
Committee, I'm not aware about.
There is a committee due to the recommendation of which 4 IITs created. Every product, every institution having its own history.
Okay,
So
yes,
many
sir.
times we find various issues. For example, first Prime Minister is known to be creation of ISRO.
Yes,
Various. So behind the IIT is someone, or what type of model we want to implement? From here we took this idea.
Sorry, sir, I'll read about it.
Okay, why the product of IIT is better than other colleges?
Sir, I would not say that the product of.
Okay, so why many students want to enter into IIT?
Sir, because of the facilities provided.
Facility only, not
Sir,
any product.
Sir, there are a lot of incentives from the IIT, sir.
Okay.
Sir, firstly, there is a lot of scope of choice of engineering and the world-class facility in terms of infrastructure, sir. For example, there is Atal Tinkering Lab that is present in IIT, and that helps us to be innovative, sir. There are several reasons including that, sir.
Okay, can you explain public interest litigation?
Sir, public interest litigation is a sort of case filed in the courts where the interest of a lot of people coincide together, and hence seeking justice, the locus standi is raised.
So it can be filed in any court.
Sir, in Supreme Court it can be filed. While I am not aware exactly in actually, sir, in High Courts and Supreme Court both PIL can be filed.
Okay.
Yes.
So when this PILs, we can say courts start taking PIL.
Yes, sir, I'm not exactly aware about when it happens. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So as you are being a NSS volunteer,
Yes, sir.
in Constitution there is any provision which expect from the citizen to render national services whenever required?
Yes, sir. In the Article 18 employment, it is an exception.
18.
Sir, I'll.
It is a fundamental right. 18.
Yes, sir. It is a fundamental right.
So fundamental right can say that you have to render the service. Is it a right or?
No, sir. It is actually a duty, but in fundamental rights, in terms of exception, it is given. So if need arises, people should be ready to
serve. That is Article 23. When
Yes.
teacher is asked to collect the data, etc.
Sir, I'll read more.
Okay. Can you highlight that welfare state, is it an institution of socialism or capitalism?
Sir, it is an institute, technically socialism, sir.
Technically. And
Sir.
what other word we can use?
Sir, I think socialism would come to my mind when we talk about welfareism. Sir. Welfare.
Socialism.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What about your opinion? Aligarh Muslim University, presently Supreme Court reserved the decision. Is it a minority institution or not?
Sir,
What
I
is your
think,
opinion?
sir, going by the law, in 1920, it was actually established by a legislation. So, in that sense, it is also not administered by the minority community. Hence, I would say that it is not an minority institution.
So it must be administered by minorities. First, it is your first point.
So that is it should be established as well as administered by the minority community, sir.
Okay, minority term is defined.
Sir, no,
Who
sir.
is minority?
Sir, sir, I'm not sure about it.
A Brahmin in Bihar is a minority in Tamil Nadu.
Sorry, sir, I'll read more about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aman, just two questions I was inquisitive to ask. Maybe I'll limit to one question I wanted to ask. You're there in Bihar. Is the problem of Maoism still felt in Bihar?
Sir, as per the report of Home Ministry, there are 2021 report. There are 10 districts that are actually still affected to some extent by Naxalism, Maoism.
See, now that you did not go there. For example, in one particular district which is the most infested with Naxalism, you find that the revenue collection is not happening.
Okay, yes.
Assuming that you have already gone as a revenue service officer, what steps you would take to ensure that the fear of Naxalism is reduced and people start paying taxes?
Okay. So, sir, several steps can be taken. So, firstly, to placate from the fear of Naxalism, we have to ensure the security of the people and an environment that is conducive to investment is created so that business can prosper and then finally taxes would improve. Secondly, sir, in terms of providing the opportunity to the people, economic opportunity, jobs, etc. For example, we can start up a startup zone in the district. So this could actually help us so that we are focusing on development aspect of the people. Hence, they would not be, let's say, more inclined towards that this is our problem and Naxalism would be a solution. So that could help us in improving revenue, sir. So these are some of the things.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Aman. Your interview is over. Relax. 2 minutes. We'll give you a quick feedback.
Yes.
How much you scored in your interview last time?
At 149.
Why so less?
Stressful interview, sir.
Stressful interview.
और 21 में कितने थे?
So 21 में sir 161.
161. कम हो गया.
कम होगा.
Where did they grill you?
Sir, start से ही मतलब.
Start से ही.
Yes, sir. So as I entered, he saw my 2.5 month work experience. So he said, "This is very unprofessional. We do not expect this." So I was trying to justify, but he was not satisfied. Then next question was asked that tell me 5 developed and 5 underdeveloped states. Tell me only if you can arrange them in ascending or descending order. Tell me only if you can back it with some data. So then I said, sir, I can try. So, sir, बोले try नहीं. बोला तो बोला. So look, it actually.
Who was the board chairman?
Hello, sir.
Oh. I hope this time there would be a dramatic improvement. ठीक है? Mains कैसा हुआ?
Sir, mains पिछले बार से थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया because I was मतलब काफी घर में कुछ चीजें हो गई और I was also sick.
Okay. बाकी I think you are prepared. You are there. थोड़ा brevity को एक लेके आइए बस in the expression.
Okay.
Left hand movement is happening, but ठीक है, it's okay. But try to control it if you can. नहीं होता कोई बात नहीं. थोड़ा multipolarity, multilateralism अलग चीजें हैं.
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा उसमें बाकी objectives of because आपने foreign policy को ही रखा है, तो उसका जवाब भी आपको अच्छे से सोचना पड़ेगा. What you gave reply may not be satisfactory to the board. To tell sir, I'm already in a service, revenue service. I'm very happy with it because I had a dream to be a foreign service officer. So I gathered courage, prepared again, and I'm sitting in front of you just to make that dream come true. If it happens, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, I'm very happy with my job. But ठीक है, वैसे रिप्लाई देने की कोशिश करें, ठीक है। बाकी आई थिंक योर गेम देखते हैं, लेट द रिजल्ट कम। एनीथिंग यू वुड लाइक टू आस्क अबाउट?
Sir, nothing in particular, but was my entrance okay? Like,
Yeah,
You have to say,
I wrote something on that.
you have to say good afternoon only once.
okay.
चारों को अलग अलग
नहीं करना।
I'm sure this is not the final dress, right?
No,
नहीं,
no.
नहीं,
अगर मैम है
तो अलग से उनको
wish
wish कर दीजिए।
मैम, लेडीज फर्स्ट, मैम
Then
गुड
sir,
मॉर्निंग,
then chairman. That's-
देन चेयरमैन।
बस दो बारी।
Only two.
All 5 gentlemen, just one good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good morning, whatever. आपका डेट आ गया?
Yes, sir. 16th February.
16th October. Okay, good. Initially, I felt I may be wrong, maybe completely wrong, because after talking to you, I did not feel so. A tinge of arrogance in the walk that you gave. So, people should not get carried away. कि ये अकड़ के ही अंदर आया है।
Already IRS है।
हाँ।
जैसे
So, human psyche, no, it draws to negative very easy. So, उसको थोड़ा humbleness पे रखने की
थोड़ा सा
कोशिश
होता क्या है ना कि नर्वसनेस भी दिखना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर आपको ये लगेगा कि मुझे सब कुछ आता है, तो उन्हें ये मालूम है कि इसे आता है, नो डाउट, बट क्या है ना कि उनको भी लगना चाहिए कि यार सामने बैठा है, थोड़ा तो हमसे कहीं वो कर रहा है, नर्वस हो रहा है। नर्वसनेस इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग। अगर नर्वसनेस दिखेगा तो एरोगेंट दिखेगा
थोड़ा
तो
सा।
प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी
थोड़ा सा।
कि वो फिर मार्क्स ऑटोमेटिक सोच लेते हैं, आप हो नहीं है, बट उनके माइंड में चलता है कि एरोगेंट है, कर ही दो इसको।
बट आपका श्योरली इस बारी यू विल गेट मोर देन योर फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू,
160 अगर होते हैं तो IFS में पहुंच जाते लास्ट टाइम शायद,
है ना?
है ना? तो वो थोड़ा सा तुम्हारा बैड लक था, चलो यानी इट वाज बैड लक।
ठीक है, बट आई एम श्योर यू आर गेम दिस टाइम।
चलो
ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट,
Thank you, sir.
टेक केयर।
ऑल द बेस्ट।